I love that my black children came out white. That's what people on TikTok heard me say when I said that I love that my daughter inherited my Scandinavian hairline.
Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across this video right for you and I thought to share with this Spankolos Carnivore woman is actually getting cancelled for saying that she's so proud that her biracial child has these carnivore features and not the other way round. I believe that she's someone that is married to a black man, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you. My daughter has all of my features and not the other way round." This sparked a lot of conversation in the social platform, and I was able to put up some of those stitches because some other Scandinavians and biracial came out to speak about their experience being biracial. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section and let's dive into it.
I love that my black children came out white. That's what people on TikTok heard me say when I said that I love that my daughter inherited my Scandinavian hairline. Why, as a white woman married to a black man, am I not allowed to be proud of my children's features? Why am I not allowed to be proud of their black features that were inherited from their father? Why is that now racist? Why am I now fetishizing black men? Why am I not allowed to find the beauty in the black skin, especially against my pale white skin? Why am I not allowed to find the beauty in looking into his deep brown eyes, especially in the sun when they're glazing? Why am I not allowed to find the beauty in watching the light reflect off of his dark skin? But if a black woman said that, or especially any other race, that's okay. At the end of the day, as a white mom to mixed kids, I'm going to talk about their black features. I'm going to talk about their white features because they need to know to be proud of their features, because it's them. It's what makes up them, a mixed child.
Hello, Marissa, is it? You don't know me, but your video came across my FYP and I thought I would tap in, as I'm sure you don't follow very many black creators or you would not have made said video. I figured I would tag you so that I can make sure this gets to you. I would try to attempt to help you understand why you feel like you're being attacked and called racist for the video regarding you saying you are thanking the universe that your biracial child inherited your Scandinavian hairline. As a white woman, which you are, married to a black man, you said that you were so thankful that your biracial child inherited your Scandinavian hairline. You opened a very large can of worms without even realizing it. See, I understand that what you said you think was harmless, but that's surface level. Let's dig a little deeper. To you, what you said was just a mom complimenting the features that you recognized in your child, but it's more than that. See, there is a long, ugly history behind what kind of features get praised, celebrated, and glorified versus the features that get demonized. See, historically, white features, right? Straight hair, a Scandinavian hairline, thin noses, lighter eyes, fairer skin, and blonde hair have been historically uplifted as beautiful, becoming the standard of beauty. While black features like coarser hair, kinkier hair types, broader noses, darker skin, dark eyes, thicker bodies, have all been demonized. So when a white parent publicly highlights relief and gratitude of her biracial child inheriting a white attribute, or shows relief in her inherited white features, it's not just about personal preference anymore. It's tied to a much bigger cultural narrative of anti-blackness and colorism, featureism, texturism. That's why people were in your comments saying, what an odd thing to say. Because what you said read to the audience like, thank God my kid didn't end up with a black hairline. Not a cute look. And now we have your response where you are saying, well, why can't a white woman married to a black man love his chocolate skin and be proud of both my mixed child's black and white features equally? You see, problem number one is when white people describe black people's skin, or describe anyone with dark skin for that matter, using food descriptors like chocolate chocolate, that's when it starts to cross into fetishization, especially when it's paired with celebrating whiteness in contrast. You see, it started sounding less like, oh, I love my husband for the whole person that he is, and more like, oh, I just love his exotic brown skin, and my goal in life was to have a mixed exotic baby that hopefully gets my white features. Ugh. You see how that becomes problematic? Now, girl, nobody's saying you can't appreciate your child's look. Your babies are beautiful. The issue is the language you chose to use and the context. White moms of biracial kids especially have to be mindful in the language that you use. Because what you think is a harmless compliment can actually reinforce anti-black narratives that your child will have to grow up fighting against. So for future reference, if you want to be able to appreciate your child's features and bring that to the internet, let's try not to frame it with relief that they got something from you, a white woman. And you really need to start to recognize how loaded the white features versus black features conversation really is. Even if you think it's a harmless statement, there's very weighted, very heavy context behind it. Try instead celebrating your child as a whole, instead of a grab bag of genetic features that you get to pick out your favorites from. That's when it starts getting weird. That's when it starts to give fetish and anti-black. White moms of biracial black children, let's do better. And find you a black woman to listen and learn from.
Hairline. Why, as a white woman married to a black man, am I not allowed to be proud of my children's features? Why?
Okay, you asked, so I'll tell you. By specifically celebrating the Scandinavian features your mixed child inherited, you're implying that those features are better or more desirable than the non-Scandinavian features that they could have possibly inherited. And that creates a racial hierarchy where whiteness or European traits is seen as superior while the other parent's traits are devalued. And I don't think that you made that video to be problematic or devalue the traits that your black husband could have given your child. It's just how it was perceived and how it fell on the viewers watching the video. So the best thing to do in a situation like that is to take accountability, try to see the other person's side and not only yours, and try to understand. Because I know, or at least I hope, you never made that video with malicious intent.
Hello, welcome to the Blackout. Now this is just a little story time about my experience being mixed with African and Scandinavian. Now, when you're mixed, you're in a strange space where you don't fit in because for whatever reason you're not considered black, but you're definitely not white, but you're not black enough to be called a black voice. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a Facebook page that was specifically looking for black artists that had songs that were empowering to black women and girls. Now, I have a song that does exactly that. It's called Woman, okay? My friend thought, this is amazing, this is perfect, I'm sharing this. The admin removed the song, shamed my friend, and said, we're looking for black artists. How dare you share this? Now, this was a music video with me and my daughter, who happens to look more Scandinavian than African. I was not recognized as black, which only reinforced the idea that I belong nowhere.
Growing up in a mixed household with half white and half black family, I don't think the black community really understands how extreme our racism really was. Y'all don't understand how bad and traumatic some of us really went through it, right? Like, for instance, I was essayed as a child by my white sister, right? And every time I'd go to my parents about it, they would tell me that I was lying and I got beat for it. And for instance, by that same sister, I would get hung from trees for hours. And as the neighbors would walk by and watch and just look at us, like, we'd be sitting there just crying and screaming in agony and pain and embarrassment. And they would just sit there and laugh and just walk by, like grown adults. I'm talking about 40s, 50s, all of that, you know what I'm saying? And they would just sit there and just watch. We lived in an apartment complex, by the way, so there's people always seeing, always watching. They just didn't do nothing about it. So as a black person, y'all really got to empathize with them.
Like having a white mother who was uneducated on what it would be like having black children before she had them, you say? It looks like racial gaslighting, such as what happened yesterday. My anxiety and depression has been at an all-time high with recent world events. My white mother told me that the only reason that I'm upset is because I spend too much time on social media, that I would be a lot happier if I just lived my life. She told me, you know what, I'm not going to be a part of the resistance. I'm going to live my fucking life. That's what you need to start doing. You would be a better mother if you did that. Mind you, I am a black woman with a black son, so no, I don't have the privilege to be able to just turn my head the other way. This is why a lot of times I am against white women having biracial children, especially with a black person. I felt so attacked yesterday. And then, of course, my white grandparents just looked the other way while my mom told me that I was crazy for being scared about what's happening in the world, scared that I'm going to lose my rights and my son is going to lose his right. My son has ADHD and needs accommodations in school. I am terrified that those are going to be taken away from him. My mother will likely not have to experience the fear that I have. And she doesn't care because she decides to turn her head the other way. She will never know what it's like, and she doesn't care to know. For me, my PTSD as a survivor of childhood trauma was triggered, and I reacted appropriately because I was directly in the face of a threat and harm. So then when I am actively in fight or flight and I am screaming and yelling because I am terrified and I am trying to protect myself, something that I was not able to do as a child, I get called the crazy one. I get told, I'm going to take your son. I get told that I need to be hospitalized and that I am grossly unstable. But let me tell you something. That is what abusers do. You are not crazy. You are valid to be scared. If you are terrified right now, your nervous system is doing the right thing and responding appropriately. For all of my other biracial black women out there who understand what this is like, to have a white mother with biases who can so easily turn their head the other way when other people's rights are being taken away. I'm so sorry that you also have to deal with this. Just know that we are in this together, and you have a right to be scared and angry and pissed off. I am lucky that I have a longtime friend that I have been friends with since childhood that I was able to call and tell her about the situation, and thankfully she's a black woman, so she gets it, but she's been around my whole life. She knows how my mother is, and she was able to validate me and say, you know, how dare she try to act like she can raise your son better than you can when she didn't even raise the 3 kids that she has. I will die on the hill of being a biracial black woman with a white mother is one of the hardest experiences that someone can go through. I think that being a minority, period, being raised by white parents, can be one of the hardest experiences that humans have to endure. It is a pain and suffering that I can't describe with words. What's it like having a white mother who was uneducated on what it would be like having black children before she had them, you say?
What up? I watched a video about a woman talking about white women with mixed kids, and I don't know if she was joking or what she was doing, but she was stating that a lot of white women proclaim that their kids are black when they're actually mixed. My kids are mixed, but I would rather say they're black because white people, most of them are racist, so I'd rather put my kids on the black side than the white side. I'd take up for the black people more than I would the white people. And the truth is, there's forms we have to fill out. Most forms say, is your kid white or black? So, yes, I'm going to put they are black, because I would rather them be on the black side, like I said, all day long. I see white people daily, and all they do is stare. They're evil, they're rude. Most of them are just racist. And so I will all day say my kids are black. All day. I would rather them be black than to be on the white side of racism.
You're either white, raised predominantly by your white family, or you are allowing your limited experience with a few self-hating black folks to determine your outlook on all black folks. Be clear, if these white folks were so magnanimous with their half-black children, the category of mulatto as a racial classification would never have existed. The children would have just been white. Those enslavers would have simply written their children down as white people. They would have given them their freedom. They would have let them exist in the world as white people. They would be on the census records as white people. White people came up with race, babe. White people came up with mulatto. Why? Because they wanted to further division amongst black people. And the history books show this very clearly. Because again, the category white has always existed. Maybe not always, but since about the 1700s, white as a racial classification has existed. Why do you need a separate classification if those people are white? It's because those people are not considered white. Duh. Furthermore, let's be clear. If you want to identify yourself as white, why not just identify as white? Why identify as a young mule? Is it perhaps because white people don't see you as white? And if it's because white people don't see you as white, why are you laying all of this heat at the feet of black people? Please go talk to whoever your black parent is about your issues. I advise y'all to go to some family therapy. Quickly. Not only is biracial not black, biracial is also not white. It is also not Asian. It is also not Latina. What it means to be biracial, it means that you have the necessary ethnic component to be able to, when asked your race, choose from 2 or more races. That is what it means to be biracial. To be racially black in this country means that you have known African descent. It means that you know you have origin in one of the original African nations. It does not mean that you don't have ancestry, descent, origin from any other place. You can go to the federal government's website. I posted it in another video, and look at the federal government's designations for race in America. You can see the definitions set forth by the federal government for race in America. And you can very clearly see that there is nothing in the definition of black, there is nothing in the definition of whites or any other racial group that says you can't have any other ancestry. You are absolutely right in that we are not mono anything. Because if you are African American, if you consider yourself a foundational black American or an American descendant of chattel slavery, you are most likely a person who is ethnically eligible to be racially biracial, multiracial. Furthermore, who the fuck is trying to erase you? How someone chooses to self-identify does not have the power to erase your identity. Because I am choosing my identity. It ain't got shit to do with you. My identity does not erase yours. Me standing up here saying I am a black woman does not make you any less of a black woman. If a white person saying they are a white person cannot erase your identity, baby, trust me. A biracial person saying that they are biracial does not erase your black racialized identity. Especially because biracial people are not always black. One of my best friends in elementary school's dad was from Korea. His mom was from Scandinavia. The boy was biracial. Kevin, if you see this video, I miss you. I love you. I hope you've had a wonderful life. But like, yo, Kevin claiming to be biracial don't do jack shit to my black identity. Furthermore, let us be clear. Y'all love to say that race is based on phenotype. Well, here's the gag, babe. I've had black people walk up to me and ask me if I'm mixed. Ask me if I'm biracial. And I got a black mama and a black daddy. And I am lighter than both of my parents. The concept of race in and of itself, outside of its legal function in these United States, is junk science. It is stupid. It is brought up by white supremacists. It is rooted in the basis that your phenotype says anything about you as a person. It is utilized by white supremacy to disenfranchise people of color and has been ever since its inception. And instead of y'all trying to overthrow all of this oppressive ass bullshit, instead of y'all trying to climb out of the boxes that white supremacy puts you in, y'all are busy trying to tell other people, oh no, you can't be in my box. Nah, you look white. You can't be in my box. I don't care that your daddy is black. You can't be in my box. Instead of just climbing out the goddamn box. And here I am trying to help you motherfuckers climb out the box, and y'all are fighting me tooth and goddamn nail. This is why Yana be telling people she ain't gonna fight y'all for your healing. This is why I wholeheartedly identify with her every time she say that shit. Cause trying to fight you motherfuckers for your own freedom is fucking exhausting. Cause y'all don't want to be free. Y'all don't want to be free. Y'all do not exhibit the behavior of people who want to be free. Y'all exhibit the behavior who simply want to be in charge of the prison. Baby, I don't want to be the prisoner nor the CO. I'm trying to be free.
This Canadian woman took to the social platform to talk about or to celebrate her biracial having these Canadian futures. And she goes out, on to celebrate, posted it on her platform, and it didn't really go well the way at which she wanted it to go. And I think she was actually called out, and she was also called racist. She was, she was called being fetishizing black men and thereabout, and now she's all out, and she's very, very all out, crying, practically complaining. Why are people after her case? Why can't she celebrate or be proud of who she is? Why can't she be proud of her daughter's futures and all of that? Which, you are allowed to be proud of everything, but this lady, maybe she don't know what the world is telling, or what is really happening in the present world, and the way at which people, discriminate and all of that. Maybe she's not aware, but now she's getting aware. Even if she's still, having this emotional breakdown with the fact that she has all of the rights to celebrate her whiteness and all of that. I like the fact that the sister I stitched her video, the sister with the afro, she tried to explain things to her. Nobody is telling you not to celebrate what's abuse, but I believe it's because of the way at which the system has actually made some futures to be celebrated and some futures to be dehumanized. You know, there is this thing that has been on the social platform about this jeans something where Beyonce have to come in place, and so many bank colored women was talking about how the beauty standard has to be with someone with blonde hair and thereabouts. So such conversations, and every other conversation that has to do with trying to place some group of people to be under the other, I think that is the reason why she is getting all of the backlash she is complaining. With that being said, there are so many biracial people coming out to complain about how they are having crisis. They are being, racist towards. This is not the first time I'm seeing biracials, coming out to complain and how their parents, especially if you're a pan-colored woman with a biracial, or if you've been raised by a biracial woman, there's this internalized thing that most of these biracials have, that they come out to, express their frustration. And I keep asking myself, as a black person, as a pan color person, that you want to go into interracial relationship, like, I think there is actually a discourse you have to have within yourself and with your partner. You know, you have to know that you, as a pan colored person, you're going to eventually, have missed children and all of that. So it's left for you to actually know if this is actually what you want, if it's what you want, if you want to bring, fourth biracial into this world. And if you do, how are you going to manage them? How are you not going to make them feel that, oh, this part of their life is better than the other part of their life? You know, this part of their life is better than the other part of their life. I have seen so many biracial, complain that they are even more accepted in their black side. That's why it's as if biracial children claim their blackness more than the other side. Biracial children, they claim their blackness more than the other side because they feel more accepted. Even when some people say that, some of these biracial said that, even in the black community, they don't see them as black. They still see them as some, not, a higher percentage, but I think about 10% of these biracial have seen on the social platform which complain that even in the black community, they still treat them as not black enough. But mass majority of biracials, appreciate their black side, especially if you're biracial with a black mother. You are being accepted in your black side, and that is not even supposed to be. It was supposed to be a 50-50 thing, like you should appreciate, or you should be able to be accepted both in your black side and your white side. You are biracial. But because of the way the system is, a biracial is automatically a black person. Like, that is how it is. And this, some of, for her to even use these words, like, I'm so proud my daughter have these features, and that means you're already trying to tell your daughter that, oh, you should be happy that you have these features. You should be happy that you have this feature. The other feature of your dad is something that you shouldn't be proud of. So I think this is why she's receiving this backlash left, right, and center. This is how it all started, with all of the majority of the biracials I see complaining about how their mother side, especially from the white mother side, treat them eventually, not making them to be more appreciating of their other half side. Like, before you get into interracial relationship, please, I think it's something you have to, like, think through, have plans and what have you, so that these people will not come on the social platform. Now they're already creating their own. I have seen some biracial people creating their own community, biracial community. I was like, what is going on? Anyway, lovely, so just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share, subscribe, leave your thought, and I will see you, lovely, when I upload the
So
next
just
one.
leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovelies, wanna just leave me your own thoughts, subscribe, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.